move on to question number 6. Least favourite Mario spin-off titles. So we had the most favourite, and now we're on the least favourite. I think I enjoyed the first couple of Mario parties. I didn't, Mario Party 3. By the time it got to number 4 for me, it got a bit long in the tooth, and it was becoming an annual franchise, and it wasn't reviewing so well, and it went all the way up to number 10. So any kind of later Mario Party, even Super Mario Party, just isn't there, is it? From what was promised in those initial reveals with Nintendo on the Switch, they haven't fulfilled it. They haven't given any DLC or any love to it afterwards. It seems like they just stick all these games together with very little thought. And it never, the characters as well, they were made by, is it Camelot? They never looked
Hudson.
like Hudson, that's it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hudson Soft, Hudson. They never looked as good as anything that Nintendo produced themselves as well. So it was always kind of vanilla, and bland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anything after Mario Party 3, 4 onwards, Mario Party games dropped off. How about you, Greg?
It's hard to argue about that. Like, it took me a wee minute or two to sort of figure out what my least favourite was, and I actually, I did quite enjoy Mario Party 4 on the GameCube, and I'd played the original one as well on the N64, but 4 on the GameCube, while I liked it, there was something about the vibe of it and the
mm-hmm.
visuals, and like you said, the character designs and stuff, it feels like a wee bit of a knockoff or something of Mario. It doesn't feel like properly Mario,
yeah.
And so I did enjoy it, and there's quite a few mini games on it that are quite good, and we played it quite a lot, but it was sort of they kind of ran the franchise into the ground after that, and only recently sort of picked it up again with Super Mario Party on the Switch, which is actually a pretty good game, but anybody that says it sort of it recaptures the original Mario Party games, is just it simply doesn't. It's still a wee bit hollow in a way. But the other game that I did sort of come to mind was Wario Land, and I do quite like Shake Dimension on the Wii, but I've recently played Wario Land for the first time, and obviously that's seen as Super Mario Land 3,
mm-hmm.
and I love Super Mario Land 1 and 2, even though they're quite different from each other, but Wario Land, I just didn't get on with it at all. I don't like it. I sort of don't really enjoy that sort of more slow-paced platforming, and these heavier movement and stuff. It wasn't really for me.
Nick, I just realised you got the same answer as me.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've only played 4 and 5. I rented both of them. And the only reason I chose Mario Party 4, or anything after 4, is because I had so much fun with the first one. And the second one. I never played 3.
The first one was brilliant.
Yeah. I think if I had to choose anything else, though, I'd probably say Yoshi's Island DS was horrible. After the SNES one, it was just such a massive disappointment. And Sticker Star as well. I played it for an hour and turned it off in disgust.
So have you played New Yoshi's Island on the 3DS?
That's what I meant. Sorry, yeah. Oh, on the 3DS.
Oh,
yes. I mean the one that was developed by it was a second party thing. It wasn't developed by Nintendo. I can't remember.
Artoon.
Yes, yeah. It was whatever that one was. Was it 3DS or DS? That one.
DS.
Yeah, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I just compared to the original, it was shockingly bad and very uninspired.
Haven't played it.
The music is the worst I've ever heard in a Nintendo game. Yeah, it's so
maybe
bad.
it is. It must be the 3DS one you're talking about then.
Could be. I honestly can't
the music
remember.
in it is shocking.
Mm-hmm. Whatever that is.
What about Jonas? What's his least favourite spin-off title?
Surprisingly, he says, of the ones I played, Mario Kart, the series in general, I just don't click with it much, and I can't really explain why, considering I like other games in the genre.
Wow, Mario Kart in particular, amazing. Yeah, I suppose if you've played one, they don't do anything different, do they? But it's the feeling of Mario Kart 8 is wonderful. Mm-hmm. What about Dennis?
Dennis said, I haven't played all of them, like many of the sports spin-offs, but from the ones I played, Super Princess Peach on the DS is my least favourite, which is a shame, because I think a game with the princess in the lead has a lot of potential. I never played this one, so I can't comment really.
Neither did I.
I think I did the first few levels, and it was so bland. It was so... she felt like the mechanics of Princess Peach from Super Mario Brothers 2. That kind of floaty mechanic, isn't it? But yeah, her special moves were so sexist. It's like, cry. Yeah, all princesses cry, get angry and have a tantrum, all that kind of stuff is like not quite appropriate. And yeah, I never clicked with that game either myself. Sam says any mobile game with Mario in it. Not even Mario can convince me to play games on a mobile when there are plenty of decent console and PC games to play with. So he's even talking about Super Mario Run there. And Mike says Mario and Sonic are the Olympic Games. The responsive of the wee waggling. Okay, the response of the wee waggling always seemed questionable to me. Or maybe I wasn't very good. Given the choice, I wouldn't choose this over any of the other track and field games. Yeah, it's just a bunch of mini games, And then he also got an honourable mention of, just like you, Nick, Paper Mario Sticker Star. So disappointing. I expect so much more from a game in the Paper Mario series. Moving on to question 7. Favourite Mario memory? Even though I kind of said I didn't play it much, NES, Super Mario Brothers, it's the kind of age I grew up in games was pre-internet. So I enjoyed the kind of learning of a game from other people on the playground, or going over to a friend's house and going, oh, look what I've, somebody blah, blah told me, let's try that out. Or I've learned something from this, look, I can do this. And the first time of finding the vines, for example, in 4.2, because I've been shown by an older cousin how to get the vines in 4.2. Little tidbits, and basically, so my favourite kind of Mario memories, not just from the NES Mario, but other Mario games as well, is basically learning stuff from other kids from the playground and sharing information with them and being the cool kid on the block when you know something that someone else doesn't. How about you, Greg?
Mine's sort of more of like an eye-opening moment, really, because obviously I spoke about Super Mario World earlier and how it was my first Mario game, and like the platformers I played before that were quite linear, and as I've grown older, like I think I actually like linearity more and more. But like I played Tom and Jerry, like I said, and like Sonic, so it's just like you beat a level, go on to the next one. But I remember sitting in the living room one day, and like there was somebody up to see my mum, and like she'd brought her son with her, and the son was like friends with my brother at school, so they knew each other. So they were sitting in the living room playing 2-player Super Mario World, and I was just sort of sitting there watching on, and they were sort of working through a few levels, and it was basically like good, like pretty much any other game for us, really, like beat a level and then you're on to the next one. And they were in Vanilla Dome, and obviously like as you go through Mario levels, you see those wee like cut out blocks or whatever that sort of like wasn't really sure what they'd done at the time. Like, I was maybe too young to understand, but I remember they went through Vanilla Dome and like found a wee secret area and like uncovered like the red blocks, and like I just had that sort of moment like, oh yeah, those red blocks were in the first level in Vanilla Dome, and just like sort of urging my brother and his friend just to go back to that level just to see what it is. So they went back and found that, opened up a whole big new path in Vanilla Dome. It's like, whoa, it sort of like opened the game up. I was like, wow, we really need to start exploring all these levels. And yeah, just that was probably my favourite Mario memory, and what sort of made Super Mario World so special, really.
Cool. How about you, Nick?
I agree with Greg. I like that sense of discovery in Mario World was really special at the time. I think for me, like, I just tried to think about this when I saw the questions. A couple of things that stand out. The first one is the millennium, the turn of the millennium. We went to Scotland with my family and a few other families from like kids our age, basically, and we took our N64 and we just sat and played Mario Golf for the whole 2 weeks, basically. I mean, we went outside, we went sledging and everything. It was snowing, but when we were sat inside the cottage, like there was like how many, 8 or 9 kids all together, and we were all playing Mario Golf 64. Absolutely fantastic. Local multiplayer with my brothers on Mario Party, the original. My little brother got that for his birthday, and we spent hours playing that game together. And it was always like, it was one of those games that I didn't win every time. It was like they would work together and work against me, and like because I'm the oldest one. So that was really fun. And recently, actually, New Donk City, the celebration, when I remember I'd not seen anything about that before, and when I played it for the first time, it was really strangely emotional moment about like this sort of culmination of 30 years of history just summed up in that fantastic bit of Mario Odyssey with the music and the sort of the 2D 8-bit sprites, and it was just absolutely unbelievable. So I felt that was really special when I played that moment in Odyssey.
In some ways, that's actually one of my bigger disappointments, actually, because I loved everything about it in a way. Like, I loved the music and stuff and the vibes it was going for. Mm-hmm. It was just the actual level.
Yeah,
it wasn't that enjoyable to play. Like, it was more of an experience rather than.
It's
like, I think if they'd made a better level out of it, it could have been like a really wow moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What has Jonas got to say, Greg? This is a long one.
Oh, for his favourite Mario memory, he says, it's hard to say, but I think I'll go with the time I was 4 years old or so, and our family was visiting Venezuela, staying at my uncle and aunt's place. I got to see their NES being played, and doing so was a bit of a social event. But one day, I just woke up super earlier than everybody else. I had been told how to turn on the NES, so I did, and played the original Super Mario Brothers by myself in the dark in the wee hours of the morning on a music TV near the bed I was sleeping in. Just felt like the coziest thing ever, even though that room had like 4 other people sleeping there.
Nice one, Jonas.
Mm-hmm.
What about Dennis?
Dennis said, getting the SNES with Super Mario World for Sinterklaas, which I'm guessing is a Dutch... Well, it says it's Dutch Christmas. Yeah. Same for me.
Dutchies Christmas,
same for me. Same thing happened on British Christmas, not on Dutch Christmas.
You didn't have Santa Claus?
No.
Sam says, playing Super Mario 64 for the first time, utterly unforgettable. And then all of a sudden, my eyes went funny and I just lost the un. I thought, utterly forgettable? What? No, unforgettable.
not so unforgettable if you have played Banjo-Kazooie before it,
True.
Like me and Nick done, probably. Mm-hmm. Well, it is still a fantastic game, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike says Super Mario Brothers 3 for him. Discovering the warp whistle hidden in the World 1 castle. No idea there was a hidden whistle, or even 3 for that matter. So elated when this leapt out of a treasure chest. And then you can travel to other worlds with it. Brilliant. On to question number 8. Your worst Mario memory. For the best one. Your worst one. Mine could double up for my funny one, because it's an unusual situation where I'm in university. I've come back to Wales for one of the Christmases, or I can't remember. It must have been in the summer. Having a party round at one of my friends' houses. Everybody but them was a PlayStation 1 user. Heavy PlayStation 1 users. That was a cool thing, you know. What are you playing this childish N64 Nintendo for? And then me trying to sell the idea of us getting around to play Mario Party all together. That did not go down well. Starting the game up and then trying to explain, and they didn't want to play it, yeah. So they didn't want to understand how much fun they could have been having, and it ended up being turned off in short measure, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a different era, and I'd like to say times have moved on, but I still feel like that's quite prevalent here, where PlayStation and Xbox is still the cool thing. Nintendo's for kids.
Yeah. Greg, what was your worst memory?
Difficult to pin down, really. Nothing really stood out to me. So I sort of was thinking back to Mario Sunshine as being my least favourite Mario game. Least favourite 3D Mario game, should I say. The pachinko in it was shocking. And when I played it again recently, it was still terrible. The physics in it were just so off.
I think I did it first time when I did it, and I didn't have a problem, but I could have just got lucky.
Yeah, quite possibly. Because I remember I had to do that, particularly back when I first played the game. I had to do it quite a number of times. And then even when I played it again a few years ago, it took quite a few goes. And there's also a water slide in Sunshine as well, where I think you have to maybe collect red coins or something, and that was just shocking as well.
How about you, Nick?
I'm going to confirm Greg's suspicions there. Yes, there is a water slide in Mario in Sunshine. Yes, you do have to collect red coins. And
yes, it's shocking.
And yes, it is unbelievably shocking. Now, the pachinko machine, I think I said last time that I did it first time. It is pure pot luck. There is no way that you can control.
That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, you can try with the hover nozzle to sort of move around, but it is luck, I would say, rather than skill. Getting to that water slide is horrific because you have to take Yoshi to the small island near the Pinner Park thing, and then on the boats to the other side of Delfino, to the other side of the plaza, where there's the guy sat under the tree, and then there's like a pipe that you have to spray with Yoshi's that thing. So getting to that bit is really difficult. It took me countless tries on the GameCube. I did it first time on the 3D All-Stars version, because like you have to do the sort of spinning jump with Yoshi to get enough distance, basically, which means you can fall off the ship very easily. Or you can slightly go in the wrong direction, then you land in the water, you got to do it all over again. But yeah, the water slide is just horrendous. You have to use the spray nozzle to get the leaf to hit all the 8 coins. The water's running fast, so if you miss, that's it. You can't go back. And I did that on 3D All-Stars. I tried it 8 times, died, game over, and then that's it, you're out. You got to get there again with Yoshi. So I was like, nope, I'm not going to do that. So that was frustrating. And I remember it being really annoying back on the GameCube, but TikTok Clock as well. I had such a horrible experience with that level on Mario 64 recently, so that can go on my worst Mario memories as well. I've talked about it enough, but it's shockingly bad.
Greg, how about Jonas?
Unlocking everything in Mario Party 4, which requires beating the computer on every board 8 times. Massive waste of time, which it sounds. He had so much time back then, apparently, and got me to master a game that shouldn't be mastered.
Well done, Jonas. How about Dennis? Nick?
Dennis is lucky because he can't think of any.
Yeah, it's like I honestly can't think of any. No terrible times with Mario. Excellent. Mario is just fun. In the sun. Sam says, playing Super Mario Party for the first time, forced motion controls. Grr. He's not happy with that on the Switch. And then Mike has added, my Super Mario World GBA cart became corrupted shortly after completing it, never to be playable ever again.
Really?
Lost that save file. Sorry, Mike.
Very sad.
Funniest Mario memory. We've had a terrible memory. Let's go on to something funnier. And mine very, very quickly, any kind of local multiplayer mayhem, especially Super Mario Kart SNES, like I said, when I was playing it with my brothers, or whether I was playing it in university later on, that kind of continued on in university with the N64 and Mario Kart 64. But like I said, we'd always go back to SNES games. And yeah, Super Mario Kart is a standout, and it's not particularly funny. It's just having a fun time, and it's the fun thing is just having that banter, isn't it, with local, when you're playing there. But yeah, you can't really describe it on a podcast here at this moment. Greg,
I found this one quite hard to tie down as well, but mine's also a university memory. And when I was in second year at uni, there was a couple of fellas that were like in a couple of years above me that I sort of knew. They sort of lived relatively near me, and we used to play football like every Tuesday or whatever it was, and we went round to the house they were staying in, and got to play Mario Strikers for the first time, and just even just hearing the toads crash into the side of the wall and get electrocuted and stuff was just the noise to me and stuff was kind of funny. But for some reason, I'm not sure why it felt so hilarious at the time. But every few seconds, somebody kept pausing the game, bringing up the menu, and it just the wee tickle of music sort of kicked in for the menu. It just, for some reason, it just felt really, really hilarious, even though it was just something so stupid. But yeah, it was a good time.
Good times. How about yours, Nick?
I don't know. Mario Kart is pretty fun with people. Something funny always happens, even online in Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
But for me, it's probably the 90s cartoon. I mean, there's nothing really inherently funny about Mario, I would say, but I'd really enjoyed the cartoon when I was younger. So it was the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, not Super Mario Brothers 3, not Super Mario Brothers World. It was the original one that I enjoyed the most. The other two were okay, but the first one, the first series I remember it being very funny when I was a kid.
Was it introduced by Captain Lou Albano as well as Mario?
It was.
Good. Yeah, always fun. That was always fun. Yeah, good. I can't remember what the cartoon looked like, but I'll have to look that up again now. What about Jonas? What did he have to say, Greg?
Well, Jonas played Mario Party 4 enough to get some good memories out of that. So he said it was hard to pin down a single moment. I guess many of Mario Party 4's minigames count, as I recall, a lot of laughs being had with how silly some of those minigames were, like Dungeon Duos.
Yeah, silly little games. If I could just mention like a Super Monkey Ball fight was always one that we just used to burst out laughing for that particularly no reason. What about Dennis there, Nick?
Dennis said not particularly funny, but I met the real guy at the Gamescom convention. I was there for work and got to wander around for a bit and decided to be an utter fanboy and pose with probably some sweaty old guy in a Mario suit. And I was happy to. So the real Mario, basically.
I think didn't he post the picture
I think he might have actually,
forums
yeah.
on Discord, and he's there with Mario, yeah. When he said the real guy, first of all, I thought he meant Charles Martinet, but just someone dressed up as Mario. Well done. Dennis. And Sam also says those races in Mario Kart, yeah, there's a lot of fun memories from Mario Kart here going throughout the podcast. When you're crossing the finishing line on the second lap, you stop playing because you thought that was the end of the race, then realizing you've still got another lap to go, and you get back on the accelerator and attempt to catch up with the rest of the races. This has happened on many Mario Kart and Europe League night. It's always amusing when you're the most playing a game on autopilot and things like that happen. Yeah, funny things always crop up. And Mike said, any one of my evenings spent with playing multiplayer Mario Kart 64 or Mario Party. Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. Good. On to the last question for this little section. We'll do this one very quickly. Your favourite Mario power-up. Myself, it's like, the Cat Mario suit is really... it pushed things forward. It's very, very useful in that Super Mario 3D world. But I think it's the raccoon. It's that feeling in Super Mario Brothers 3 and World as well, where the cape kind of copies the raccoon. It's that feeling of floating and being able to control your descent a little bit better when there's moving platforms. I do like the raccoon suit. Greg?
I find this one really difficult because there are a lot of really good Mario power-ups, even the fire flower and stuff. It's good crack throwing fireballs everywhere. And so I sort of thought which one's sort of fun to control really. Obviously you mentioned the cape from Super Mario World there a wee bit. I love it, but it's a wee bit hard to control in some areas. The way you have to bob up and down and stuff.
The flying aspect is difficult.
Yeah. So I actually think the penguin suit is quite fun when you just sort of run forward and then you press down and you start sliding forward and can jump along. I really quite enjoyed that in the new Super Mario Brothers games.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm going to say the cape from Mario World because that's what I enjoyed about it. I think the raccoon is you have to get the power up first, don't you? And then you can go up for a short while and then you start falling down.
And you start falling down. You have to run the new power speed for a length of time.
The cape, even though you don't have a lot of control over it, or it doesn't feel like you have so much control over it, you can basically do a whole level if you nail it just by flying through it. And I think when you do that, it feels really great. And I love slamming down onto the ground as well and killing all the enemies. Definitely the cape.
Superman.
Flood as well. I should give that a mention because having played it again recently, Sunshine, it completely changes how a platformer works, and it does so, in my opinion, in a very good way, and it just adds something that wasn't in Mario 64. It gives you a little bit more control, I think. I like the Flood.
The only other thing I want to say about the cape actually is I love it, but in one way it's one of my criticisms with Mario World actually, because anytime I go back to play it, obviously a lot better at it than I ever was originally and stuff. But yeah, I do find myself just flying through most of the levels, so you actually miss the levels effectively. You fly over it all.
Mm-hmm.
Get that P-wing and off you go. What about Jonas, Greg?
He says the turbo nozzle in Super Mario 64. So fun to move around with, so fun to jump with. Love the sadly few levels that require it, and the effect it makes when you use it in the water is gorgeous, and he's absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Is it a bit difficult? Is it a bit twitchy when you use it? From what I can remember, it is you just tap on the analog stick a little bit and he moves. He's quite a bit twitchy, no?
Mm-hmm. From what I recall, there's certainly a level in Rico Harbor a part in Riga Harbor where you have to like collect maybe it's red coins or something again, and I
Between
think
boats and all that. From
I
what
think
can
that
remember,
I think that took a few goes for me.
That one's not with the turbo nozzle. That's the surfing one.
Okay.
But the controls are basically the same. It's a little bit twitchy. If you're trying to line something up perfectly, it can be a little bit difficult, but it's not impossible. It's just, it requires a little bit of finesse, and you don't really feel like you have it all the time.
So Dennis said, because it's a short one I'll go, Yoshi, is Yoshi a power-up?
Yes.
Then Yoshi. Is Yoshi a power-up, really?
I think so. Well, Super Mario World, definitely.
Yeah. It adds to what Mario can do, yes. So what did Sam say, Nick?
Sam said Starman. Getting a star in any Mario game is always brilliant. Is always a brilliant moment. You always know what you're getting. A brief moment of invincibility accompanied by a frantic, catchy theme tune. True.
Yeah, when you do it in Super Mario Land, it's the can.
It is, isn't it?
It's a completely different tune. Yeah.
There's always that wee bit of nervousness at the end of it when you're not sure when it's going to actually run out. There's that wee window. You're not sure.
Yeah, do I go for the last gumba? And then Mike said the superstar as well. As soon as that music hits, the wave of invincibility and power feels freeing, both in platformers and in Mario Kart. It's good in Mario Kart when you get a little bit of speed boost as well. You can slowly catch up with the person in front and take them out. Good feeling. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a like if you've enjoyed our content. You can also check out our other great content on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the N-E Café podcast from all good podcast providers. Just follow the links in the description below.